Hi Jay.
I
So yeah, I want us to discuss about the importance of having research experience to getting scholarships,
okay.
and I think the audience will really appreciate your perspective, given that you've been working on research recently. So just for some background, we have masters by research,
Mm-hmm.
master of philosophy,
Yeah.
thesis-based masters.
Mm-hmm.
These programs require you to get a supervisor before you apply,
Apply.
and
Yeah.
often at times they come with full funding for
Mm-hmm.
like in Canada or for PhD. Even if you get a government scholarship, there's an additional layer, which is that you need to find a supervisor.
Mm-hmm.
And even for me back then, while I was in Cameroon, I sent lots and lots and lots and lots of emails, and supervisors just don't respond. These two professors are busy. But what do you think a supervisor, somebody you want to work with,
Mm-hmm.
what do you think is the first thing that he or she is looking for in a potential student that he or she will supervise?
I think what supervisors are looking for right now is students who already have prior research experience, whether you're coming for masters or masters by thesis or PhD itself, especially PhD, have some experience. Professors are looking for students with experience. They don't want to come and start training you or teaching you how to do research. They want you to come that you already have research experience. Yeah, so I think that's what professors are looking for right now.
Okay, because I
Mm-hmm.
remember there's a student from Cameroon who wanted to apply for admission here to Police. He
Mm-hmm.
graduated from the Higher School of Economics, and he really had a hard time, finding a supervisor.
Surprising, yeah.
So I had to like go to my current master's thesis supervisor and really make the case and articulate, oh please accept him, oh please accept him. But often at times that will not be the case.
Yeah.
But in addition, okay, how can you demonstrate that okay you do have this research experience that professors are looking for?
The only way to show proof of having a research experience is by having a publication. That's the only way. Don't It's not enough to just write maybe in your email to the professor that you know how to conduct research. What is the proof that you know how to conduct this research? It's the publication that you have that proves it. Recently I had a meeting with two of the professors here at Innopolis because there are so many students and not a lot of professors. So next year when we start like masters, thesis and internship, it is going to be like
Very competitive
struggle and
actually to
competition
find a
to get a
supervisor.
supervisor. Yeah, so I decided to go in early. I had a meeting with two of my professors here to talk about um them supervising me for my master's thesis and my internship. So they were giving me we did a lot of talking and they were telling me that yeah, it's good that me as a master's one student, I'm already working on research. Like yeah, I think we already have a paper that we have submitted for review.
Two papers.
Okay, two papers that we have submitted for review. Yeah, so they were telling me that okay, it's already a good footing for me as someone who plans to apply for PhD when I complete my masters. They said a lot of things. Like one professor was giving an example that I don't know, Scotech. You know, Scotech is like one of the best IT schools, universities here in
Mm-hmm.
Russia. It's like Police and Scotech they compete for first position. I
Yeah,
don't know
I will
if I'm
rank
right to say that.
I will rank Scotech first with no bias.
Okay, okay. So Sportech is like first. So there were two students from Sportech who applied for PhD here under the supervision of one of our professors here. He rejected them because they didn't have any research experience. So if someone can leave Sportech, master Sportech, and come here for PhD, and then the professor rejects them because they don't have research experience, what more of you who lives like Cameroon or Nigeria or and then you're planning so these people are sending like emails to the same professor, and then you from Cameroon you're also sending an email to the same professor. The both of you don't have publication, but you from Cameroon, your case is
Yeah,
even
it's even
worse.
more
Yours
difficult.
is even worse.
Yeah.
So having a research experience, having publications before applying for PhD is really really important.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's always very disappointing. Like the case of government scholarships, the Russian government
Mm-hmm.
scholarship, the Turkey Boslari, the Chinese government scholarship, the Japan Met scholarship, the
Yeah.
Korean government scholarship or GSK, the Romanian, all of these scholarships. When you're going for, I think for the case of Japan,
Mm-hmm.
China, Korea, um, I hope I didn't leave out anything. Or even these scholarships in Thailand,
Mm-hmm.
or even Saudi Arabia, the King Abdullah, that scholarship, even at the master's level, they will require you to get a supervisor.
Yeah.
But for government scholarships, also take back Russia, Korea, Japan. In if you go through the embassy, often at
Mm-hmm.
times like the selection process is different from the admission process. And
Yeah,
if you're
it
going
is.
for a research program, PhD, or your master's as a thesis, then you have like an additional layer, which is you need to find a supervisor. And if you cannot get a supervisor, what happens?
You,
Everything is, you
it's
lose it.
you lose the scholarship.
Yeah,
That's
and
exactly
there's
it.
nothing the embassy or the university can do. Yeah, so often at times it's not that professors are like, oh, we are busy. It's just when he looks at the work that he or she will do with you, and you're like, okay, no, I just don't want to do that.
They don't just want to take you because one of the professors here was telling me he currently has like 8 students under his supervision. Then imagine you're applying for that professor to be your supervisor and then you're coming with no prior experience. That's when I say you're not prior experience is that you come for PhD without even having an idea of what you want to do. You don't have a direction. So if you come with research experience, that means you already have something maybe you're already working on. That supervisor, you can discuss with him on the first meeting. You tell him what you're already working on. Maybe he can now propose something to you that is in that direction. But if you come and you don't have anything you're working on, he'll give you a topic. You start by getting to know that topic. You will end up spending the first year of your PhD trying to
Even
trying to find a
even fake.
topic, and that is really time passing. And some of these PhDs, most of these universities, their requirements for PhD are really high.
Yeah.
Like before you finish, you need to have 4 publications.
In Innopolis is five.
You see, you see now, in Nopolis, you need to have 5 publications before you complete your PhD. Imagine you come for your first, you come for PhD now. Imagine you apply without any research experience and the supervisor takes you. You're going to spend the first year searching around the internet, trying to find a topic, trying to find research gaps, find a direction, and all of that. But if you come that you're already doing something, you can just continue extending in that direction. So
And yeah,
it's
a
really
professor
important to
can
have,
potentially be open to that. But
yeah,
my view is that what they want is not necessarily like you have a publication. It's like, okay, you have I can say like for my case, you remember with the research paper that we're working on. My writing is quite mature compared to initially the way I was doing it. Even how you present results, and these are skills that are honed with time based
mm,
on how
yeah,
repetitive you've been doing some of these tasks.
mhm,
Even with LLMs, like you still need experience.
that's
So
very true.
even if you don't have like a publication, I will say like you should have maybe a preprint on archive.
Yeah,
Is the best
it
way
will
to
go
go.
a
If
long
it's
way.
good, even if you've not published it, you say, okay, this is my preprint. It can be referenced actually,
Mm-hmm.
or you have like very good technical documents that you can attach in your email to supervisors. When they see that okay, you have the ability to be able to write such documents, it helps even if it's not officially published.
Yeah, to add to what you said, like one of the supervisors even told me that he's not only looking for people who have research experience, but people with research experience that are hardworking, that are willing to, that have like that zeal to do the research. Because research is not about being smart. If smartness does not take you anywhere in research, research is you spend hours in the internet trying to find
Dig up stuff.
information, dig up stuff. That's why it's called research. Research means finding for things. So it's, if you're smart, I don't see how this help you. It's about being hardworking and patient and putting in the time and the effort to do this. So this one of the supervisors was like telling me that it's not enough to be smart. You need to be hardworking for you to be a researcher, for you to do research.
I don't think research has to do with being smart. I think it has to do more with being pushful, because
Pushful
you
and
can spend
hardworking.
hours and hours on the same thing.
Yeah.
Smart, it's advantageous if they have to teach you material and you take an
They're
exam.
not
But
teaching you anything here. You're finding things out for yourself. So if you're not pushful, you don't have the zeal to even do it, that you're not hardworking, like it cannot just work for you.
okay, I
Yeah.
think let's try to keep the video short. So yeah, it should not be too long.
Yeah.
In the scholarship 101 course, in the research scholarships, we will detail some of this information. So my advice to everybody is you're writing your master's thesis, your bachelor's thesis, because like Cameroon, where we come from, you see somebody in a PhD program, second or even the third year, and you
Without
don't
a
have a paper.
publication. Yeah.
It's absurd.
Crazy.
It's absurd. So if you want to do a special bachelor project, don't do project for convenience. Meet your supervisor, professor,
Meet the lecturer in
find
the
a research
university who
problem
should
and address
supervise
it
you.
in your bachelor's. Same
Yeah.
for your master's thesis. Don't just write and and go you defend this big book and no. Is there a research problem that have you contributed to knowledge and that will help. So unless you have something more to add, I think that's it from my end today.
Okay, one more thing. They gave me an advice before we ended that meeting that when you're doing research work, do something that when you look at it in the future, you'll be proud of. Because research is something that when you do it and then you put it out there on the internet, your name is tagged to that work. Years from now, your name will forever be tagged to that work, except you want to go and put it down. I don't know how.
I don't know if it's possible
I
to
don't
put
know.
it down.
Yeah. So do work that when you look at it in the future, you will be proud of it. As this other professor was advising me about this, the other professor just went and took like he has like something like a textbook. It's like his master's thesis that he did at Scotech. Is it Scotech? I cannot even remember. He printed it out like a thick book like that. They were all maths professors. They are like into this optimization, high dimensional
Modeling,
analysis kind of
machine
math.
learning.
So he had like a very thick book that is he's saying his master's thesis. Like when he sits in his office, he just goes and open it and start reading, and he looks at it and he's like, I really did this.
Yeah,
So
you're even me. Like in my thesis yesterday, I was with extras in the SNA lab, and
mhm.
I was using one of the monitors to prepare my thesis, and I was quite impressed with the quality of what I wrote.
Yeah.
So right now we have LLMs. They help. Be careful how you use them because if you put something out there, it's purely LLM written. Even if it passes review and it's accepted, in the future it could still be a problem. Maybe a made up reference or something, and you don't want to get caught up in such a mess. Or maybe you send that proof of research to a professor and it maybe passes to an LLM tool and 100% AI.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
would be a
so
problem.
okay, that's it for today's video, and see you in the next video.
Yeah.
Bye
Thank
bye.
you all.